Yes, we are live. We are together, alive and well, which is beautiful and amazing. Day in, day out, with everybody here. A blessing indeed. Huge blessing. A community online, which many of you, I've never, most of all of you, I've never physically seen, but yet we're connected. The power of Torah, power of Tanya, to bring connection. And the connection is much deeper with those who join the TRC, Tanya Rabbi community, which I invite you. Welcome to Tanya today. And in welcoming, we have with us in Springfield, New Jersey, Andrew. Good morning. Always there. Pennsylvania, Brett has joined us. Michael is in Germany. Rusty in Texas. Yes, very faithful, all of you. Terrence in Melbourne, Australia. June is also in Australia joining us. Wow. That's like amazing. Julia in Pennsylvania. A lovely day for Tanya study. Absolutely. Clem in Brisbane, another Australian. Boker Tov in Phoenix to Andrea. Sandy, good morning in Michigan. John, welcome in North Carolina. Misutel, you have to remind me. Good afternoon in Morocco to Rabbi. Joseph is joining us on a sunny, beautiful day in Jersey. And Diane is in Arizona joining us as always. Cindy in Florida. Liba and Davida, twins that stick together, are always together. Learning Tanya in New York. Chava Celeste is in Boulder, Colorado, joining us. David in California. Louise, another Australian in Sydney. Beautiful. Dana is in Texas, presently. Present, very present. Amy is in Colorado. I don't remember if it's Denver. Just remember it's Colorado. Greg is joining us in Fort Lauderdale. Welcome. I don't know if you're a first timer, but welcome. Stan is representing the King in London, England. Oh, we have Jared also in London, another Londoner. Welcome. Oh, Cheryl joining us. Her grandmother just passed away. Rena Bat Rosa. So, today's class is in her honor. Okay. Thank you for joining and letting us know. So we could, for her neshama, for her soul, today's learning. In Georgia, we have Elise. We have Arena in Colorado. Serach in New York. Cheryl is in Orlando. Karen in Springfield, Ohio, Boker Tov. Welcome. Ilana is in London. Oh, another Londoner. Woo. The King has got his representatives out today. Denise in New Jersey. The Chief Rabbi of Ukraine is visiting in London right now. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. We have clubhousers. We have Celeste. We have Michael, Jenna, Marcy, Vilma, Yalamad. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Claudio, Joshua. Beautiful. We've got Instagrammers. We've got Akoy in Lima, Peru. We have Amir, Grateful Living. Austin in Kentucky. Tia. Beautiful. All right. Know yourself, and through knowing yourself, you're going to know God. At least appreciate his interplay within creation. So in the human condition, the soul interplays in the body in three ways. The very core essence of the soul that has no parameters of definition, no limitation, is found equally in the thumb, the heart, the feet, and the brain. No distinction. The functionality of the soul, or the way it brings functionality rather to the person, is the other extreme, where the light of the soul, metaphorically like the sun, if you will, the sun has a position, right, in the galaxies, in the heavens above. So it's not the essence of the soul we're talking about now. The sun is metaphorically to where the first place it's fully revealed, the soul. Because the essence of the soul is not revealed. It's beyond revelation. And therefore that's why it's equally found in the thumb and the brain. Then you have the first place where it's fully revealed in its full force, metaphorically like the sun, and that's in the brain. And then from the brain, it's drawn a ray of light, as the metaphor of the sun. That one ray of light goes into, face, and maybe is facing on the, when the sun rises on the east, and it's getting a full power of the sun. And the sun and then a window on the west is getting less light in. So that is the way the sun brings functionality. If the sun is beaming on your roof and you have what's it called, reflective material there that can absorb the sun and create energy from it, it's getting a lot more than a window that has a very thick curtain. What is that metaphor? That's the metaphor for the soul as it comes and now comes into the thumb to give a functionality that the thumb can do this kind of action and hold on to something, grip onto something, give you, without a thumb, your functionality in holding on to something is limited. But that is a much less functionality than the light of the soul that comes into my eye to be able to see. That's a much more refined one. Greater light, which we understand that when it comes to sight, as opposed to the thumb or the finger or the toenail, for example. A much lesser functionality. So that would be like that ray of the light of the sun that now hits the rooftop and is giving, a much greater functionality than coming through a window that has a thick curtain and very little sun comes through. So the contraction of that, the soul, the more it contracts, the less of a functionality it gives to the body. All this is brief understanding of how we function a soul and a body. And from my own soul I can understand my own soul, that how it interplays within the body. I can now understand how God interplays with creation. So today we will only deal with two components: the essence of the divine and God as he comes as creator in the functionality of everything within creation. So the essence of the divine, of the Ein Sof, the limitlessness of God, metaphorically like the limitlessness of the soul, well, the essence of the divine is everywhere equally. There's no distinction. There's no high, low, as before, this level of the divine. There isn't. It's so far removed. It's not something revealed. It's not something we experience. It's not something that we have an experiential awareness of. We learn about it because we're taught about it. So we can have some kind of understanding, but it's something the eye doesn't see. It's something above and way beyond. It animates everything equally without end. No distinction. No such thing again as higher or lower. No thought can apprehend this. Not even the higher worlds, where there's spiritual lofty souls and angels. God is equally hidden to them in the loftier worlds than to us in this low world, where we're not so lofty. We're in a physical world. Even the spiritual, it's called, and therefore God is called steaming, they're called steaming. The hiddenness of all hiddenness. He's equally hidden from the most spiritual, sublime entities of souls, right? Souls that are not limited and bound by a body. Angels and angels in anything of great spiritual significance, equally hidden from them as he is from us. Now, that element is found within creation because the element that now comes into creation, that is the force of giving existence and vitality to individual created things, that they are distinctive one thing from another, is not coming from this element of the essence of the divine, but it's coming from the contraction on the light. So when we speak about the essence, it's beyond light. Now we're speaking about light. Today we're not going to be speaking about the source of that light, which is like this, metaphorically like the sun, or in the metaphor that we're using, the first place of the revelation and the dwelling of the soul, where it reveals itself in the brain. So that element we will not speak about today. That will be forthcoming. But now we speak about from the essence that is beyond even, call it sun, because that's has a place. This is beyond place, and therefore it's equally in all places of the world, and in the soul of the body, and in God within creation, equally everywhere. But then there's another element that is now the light of God that is contracted upon, and there's a distinction between higher and lower. Higher doesn't mean more important, lower doesn't mean less important. Higher means that the light of God is not as contracted. And lower means it's more contracted. And hence, higher would bring about more of a spiritual world where the souls, angels, and the like are more attached, more aware of the divine, their source in the divine. Whereas lower means there's so many more garments, if you will, as the sun comes in through the window. You notice there's some light in this room. There is some sunlight that's coming in, but there's a shade. And if I were to go into the other room where the shade is completely down and it's a black shade, where there's a blackout, there's a little ray of light that comes in, but not much. That ray, that very little comes, is the God as creator of this physical world, by way of metaphor. Or in the soul, the way the light of the soul is so contracted that it makes just a fingernail of the person. Now, what's important is we should not think for a moment just because the contraction of the light of God now makes a physical reality of this world, makes a physical creation, like this hat, right, which is inanimate. Right? That creation, don't think for a moment that the essence of God is not there. It is, but very much hidden within that creative force of the light that gives rise to a physical creation. It is just much more hidden in there. Well, no, it's equally hidden there, as we mentioned earlier. God is hidden from even the most sublime of worlds and sublime of creations. But God, the Emanator, the Ein Sof, by way of Malchus of Asiya, royalty of Asiya that's enclosed in it, the royalty, the king, the royalty, and the sovereignty of the divine. In Yetzirah, inside of that is the sovereignty of the world of Bria. Inside of that, of Atzilus, the emanator. God is emanator, and inside of God is an emanator. Is the essence of God is to be found, as we said, equally here in this world as in any other, the spiritual realms beyond us. So what we have here is the two components: the essence of God and the functionality of how God is creator through the light. What we don't have is where's the first place of the revelation of the divine. Not the essence of the divine, that's not revealed, but the core, just like it is in the brain of the person. Where is that? Where is the brain trust of the divine? How do we understand that? That will be forthcoming. And we will continue the conversation on that in tomorrow's class. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine. I'm coming to you from Kansi Ba'avayas Abracha, from the place where the emanation of all blessings, Crown Heights, New York, world capital of Chabad, came from the Ohel yesterday, where I brought blessings to all of you, some of you by name that you gave me, and others mentioned you. And we will continue our conversation, God willing, tomorrow. Have an amazing, great day. Thank you for joining.